Hello, and welcome to the Real Show YouTube channel. I don't have to do any fancy intro for this, so yeah, here we are. Welcome to another tier list video. We're good at these, aren't we, Corey? We're making a habit out of this sort of thing.
Yeah, I like to think so.
I also like to think so that I've sort of turned the I don't have to do a fancy intro into an intro.
Yeah, it's normality, isn't it? You got to do it now.
It's caught on, I think. It's caught on, hasn't it?
Exactly. It's crowd really want you to do that, you know.
So, welcome to the Real Show tier list. As always, we've got a list full of people. Who are these people, Corey?
These are Raw men's superstars.
Yes,
well,
they're not all of them. We are doing a part 1 and a part 2, aren't we?
Yeah, this is half of a Raw men's roster.
This is 26 members of the Raw men's roster.
Yes.
Part 2 will be coming out soon. And then after that, we will do the women's, which is the opposite to what we did with SmackDown.
Yes, this is also according to Wikipedia. So, especially in the next episode, when you see people who have not appeared on Raw for ages, like Kane in the SmackDown one, blame Wikipedia.
Yes, or the fact that as we're recording this, just I think yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah. Yesterday.
A lot of people were removed from WWE program. They were let go. Wished all the best in their future endeavours, as the company likes to say.
Yeah.
Big names, people who were over, people who weren't over, people who had never appeared, people who were just at WrestleMania. The cleaver of Vince McMahon has no mercy, and I'm afraid it has cleaved some of the best of the roster. So, but what can you do about that? So yeah, if somebody turns up and they've been unfortunately cut in the sequel to Black Wednesday, we're just going to judge them on what they've done beforehand. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's go through. We have 5 categories. Yep. Do you mind giving your little explanation? Maybe sort of spice it up and say what those 5 categories entail?
Yeah, so we've got Real Tackler, right? That's the top of the top. That's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've got to be a certain type of athlete to get in Real Tackler. Underneath that, you've got Sizzling, right? Still pretty good if you're in Sizzling, you know. You're not like top level, but you're still good, right? You're better top half.
Still very good. Sizzling is like you're on fire. You're sizzling.
Exactly. But then you've got decent, right? Middle of the road, average, very decent. Oh, did you see that match yesterday? Oh yeah, that match was decent. It's okay. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Then you've got Now these are the people you see like maybe it's a Rumble, right? It's a Royal Rumble. Oh, who's number 26? Out they come, and you're like, it's all right to see them. Surprise return, And then you have Itchy and Lumpy. These are the people that if they return at the Rumble, you pick up your chair, throw it at the TV, because you never want to see them again.
No, then you throw the TV out the window.
Exactly.
If we hate Itchy and Lumpy, I think Itchy and Lumpy's got as much as a coveted status as Real Tacular has in a way.
Yeah.
We have to really hate you to go into Itchy and Lumpy.
Exactly.
So, let's start this list off. I think you've said... That was a wonderful intro, by the way. Well done. Very good. So, let's begin, and let's start off with everybody's favourite. AJ Styles is there.
Yeah, the face that runs the place? That was him, wasn't it?
The phenomenal one, I know as.
Or the champ that runs the camp. That's another one of his.
Yeah, that is funny, actually. So how would you review AJ Styles? A tremendous athlete, no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, I mean
he's got the skills to pay the bills, as they say.
Exactly. We're rhyming today, man. He came in at the Rumble, big pop. Obviously,
was he in New Japan, I believe?
Yeah, he did some stuff in New Japan, did some stuff in Impact. Was in WCW for like one day. Came out, and he's, to be fair, currently the Raw Tag Team, one half of the Raw Tag Team champions.
Yes, with Omos.
So he has a belt currently, which will help him leverage him with other people in the same tier. I mean, he's good in it. He's great. He's always fun. He does good matches, good worker, solid performer. Even now in his 40s, I believe, he's still good at what he does.
Yeah.
I think he's either top sizzling, or bottom Real Tackler.
Right. Let's just say that preface by saying that nobody on this list is necessarily bad. They've all got the good points. They've all got the skills. But we're looking at this as objectively as we can be.
Okay.
I know everybody's biased in some way, so I can't really say we're being objective as we can be. We're just trying to cut it with how we feel, and that's
where were you going with this?
Right, I'm going to go somewhere with it. We're just doing it how we feel.
Is this Murray's like everyone else has gone indecent first, therefore AJ Styles should go indecent? Is that where you're going with this?
No. This isn't like a crab bucket situation.
Right. Okay.
Well, we're going to throw loads of people indecent in hopes that some may get to sizzling or rotacular. But it's like I think AJ Styles is really great. Mm-hmm. Really is. He looks good. He's got the charisma. He's got the talk on the mic. He's got the skills. He's got the gear. He's got everything. But there was that time with Shinsuke Nakamura where they were just punching each other in the crotch.
True.
And I did not like that. Why didn't you just let them, just be competent and wrestle competently? Apart from this really weird gimmick where they have to keep hitting each other in the nuts. I just think it's just weird. That shouldn't be overlooked. But also, we should be considerate of all the good things that AJ Styles has done for the company and all the good things that he still continues to do. So for that reason, if you'd like to put him in sizzling, I will be 100% behind you.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. We'll whack him in there then.
Sizzling, and he might actually stay at top sizzling.
You know what? Yeah, he might do.
Right.
Might do.
Who's coming up?
Well, next we have Tozawa. Which...
Yes, well, I'll let you explain the situation.
Yeah, well, we can't quite, unfortunately, talk as high as praise with Tozawa as AJ Styles currently, and all I really know him for is he's in the mix in the 24/7 championship. He was with the Cruiserweights at some point on 205 Live, which is now in NXT. But all he really does nowadays is chases R-Truth / Gulak for the belt. Sometimes he'll win it. He has a bunch of ninjas that can help him out. He was eaten by a shark. And then came
I do
back.
Remember that segment, in fact. Yeah. With the ninjas.
Yeah. So he's not. It's no fault of his own, but he's not really doing much.
Yes, indeed.
I would say I think.
Right.
Maybe bottom decent.
I'm not gonna argue with you if you say I mean, eaten by a shark. That's a mark as a wrestler, but a mark as a wrestler is also being one of the many enhancement talent who have to chase R-Truth around the ring and try and grab his 24/7 title.
Yeah, I mean it's okay, but he can be entertaining sometimes. But
the bit with the ninjas was fun. I'll admit that.
Exactly. I think more recently he's missed more than he's hit, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like he has to, appear in the Royal Rumble and chase after R-Truth and try and grab his belt or whatever, So, right, let's go on to this. Right, this is a guy who I quite like actually.
I quite like him.
It's Mustafa Ali, the leader of the so-called retribution, as Michael Cole says. Yeah. Or does he even lead them now? There's a bit of splintering going on with the team.
I'm pretty sure they're split.
Right, but Mustafa Ali, I like to think that underrated is the word.
Yes.
I really like his presence. I really like his magnetism. He's really charismatic. He's really cool. I like his gear. He's sort of like Iron Man. He's got like the hand blaster logo thing. When he comes out in a Royal Rumble, it's always a pop for me. I go, yeah. So I just think he's all around pretty cool, pretty awesome.
I think he is. He has been a bit.
It's been up and down for him, hasn't it?
Exactly. He was supposed to do the whole Kofi thing, and then he got injured, and Kofi took his place. Which they've tried to weave into a storyline now, but it's not gone anywhere. Apparently, plans were. Ali would face Kofi at Mania. And then it got changed to Kofi and Woods facing AJ and Omos. I feel like with Retribution it made sense, right? You're going to get a bunch of people who haven't been used right and essentially be like, right, you haven't used us correctly, people underestimate us, so we're going to prove that we're good enough. I feel like, one, they just didn't use Retribution correctly. They lost all the time. AJ Ali was mostly shown as a leader who couldn't back it up, what he said, which is unfortunate. I also feel like picking NXT stars for people who are underappreciated maybe not the best way to go, because people won't know who they are. I would have picked more mid-carders or people who aren't used on main roster, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I feel like he has potential. I like it when he wrestles. I think he's good. I always get like, if he's in a match, I'm always interested in seeing what he's doing. Do I think he's AJ Styles level? No. But do I think he's Tozawa's level? No.
Okay. That's a fair down the middle assessment. That's down the middle assessment there. Corey.
I think he's decent, but I think he definitely has potential if he's used correctly to be more than that.
Okay. Well, we can get onto the Retribution in a bit.
Yes.
We'll get into more about Retribution.
Yeah.
Or as the commentary team says, Retribution is here, or whatever.
Or whatever they're going to be called nowadays, because I don't even know if Retribution
is
a thing anymore.
And they're weird names. So yeah, let's be fair to Mustafa Ali. Put him in top decent.
There we go.
It's looking pretty much down the board so far.
It is.
Who's up?
Angel Garza.
Angel Garza.
Mm.
What do you think of Angel Garza?
Right, okay, so his whole thing where like he's walking around, him and Andrade were good. I like them as a pairing. I like the whole like, I don't want to, obviously a lot of people will draw comparisons with Eddie Guerrero and the whole similarities thing, but it's, I guess, style-wise in the ring, I thought he was entertaining. I liked his whole gimmick of he would walk around with like a rose and essentially just flirt with anyone because he's trying to like... I think
it was like Andrade's like whole gimmick was, I want to make out and have sex with every woman in the world.
Yeah, and I liked it when Garza had the rose and is essentially just flirting with anyone to try and get, like, to use them or get something. Yeah. I liked that. They just didn't do anything with it. And then, like, I can't remember the last time I've seen him on TV.
I think last time I saw him was at Raw Legends Night.
He was probably there.
They did that thing. No, I swear to you, they did. They did that.
Yes.
Do you remember the Raw Legends Night?
Yeah, it was Mickie James, Slaughter, and Tonka.
Yeah, and I think Alicia Fox was there as well. And
oh no, sorry, it was Fox, Tonka, and Slaughter, not Mickie James.
Yeah,
she was there.
That's when Mickie James was there. Was Mickie James there?
She was at Legends Night. She wasn't part of that segment, no, I don't think.
Oh right, but he goes up to Alicia Fox and he's like, "Oh, you want to smell my rose? I'm a very handsome city man." And Alicia Fox just blush, walks off.
That's exactly what he did.
She does a whole crazy Fox gimmick and just flicks her hair and walks away.
I mean,
so yeah, that's effectively the sum up to most of his segments, to be honest.
Yeah, I wish they did more. They still could, but I don't know. Again, he's good, and he's good when he wrestles, but they don't use him.
No, we're judging him mostly on sort of his performance and his charisma on the mic and with his words.
Yeah. And
with his segments. I'm happy to settle for top air or bottom decent.
Yeah, I was floating around them areas.
Right, I'll let you make the choice then.
I'm trying to think, right, is he... He's done more than Tozawa.
Right, yes.
100%. He's done less than Ali. However, I would still be somewhat excited if Garza popped up on like a Raw match or a pay-per-view match. I wouldn't be that excited if Tozawa popped up. So I reckon he's bottom decent.
Bottom decent then. Bottom decent.
Recommend bottom decent.
Now, coming up next, we have the monster among men. We have the biggest man, whatever they call him, the biggest man in the company or something like that.
Yeah.
The freight train, the train conductor, the train man, Braun the train engine, Braun the steam engine, Braun Strowman. Why did they put that stupid train noise when he was running?
To get the crowd going, man.
There was no crowd. It's the Thunderdome.
True. Yeah.
There's no crowd. It was just him and his little run. His little run around the...
It's more impactful with the train noise.
Don't you try and sell the train noise to me, Corey.
I'm not, to be fair, even if that train noise was a one-off and the next time he runs around the ring it isn't there, it's now just made that move look way more crap because now it just looks awful, even without the train
Everyone's
noise.
going to think of the train noise now, aren't they?
To be fair, why is someone running around the ring to hit someone? It doesn't make sense.
He's got to build momentum. He's a big man.
Yeah, but he's not speeding up. He's going the same pace. Also, why isn't that person then moving out of the way? That move just makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah. But right, let's take a step away from the train noise for a minute.
Let's talk about Braun.
Yeah, talk about Braun. Now, what was your first introduction to Braun Strowman? Maybe this might help us out.
My first instruction was Wyatt family Braun Strowman.
Yes, the black sheep mask.
Exactly. To counter Eric Rowan's sheep mask and Harper's no mask. He didn't have one.
Yes, Harper's intense facial expression.
Yeah, to be fair.
He could stare daggers.
Yeah, just true, actually.
Yeah. So we have Braun Strowman first started off in the Wyatt family.
Yep.
Then he sort of broke away and did that. I sort of remember him being one of the stars of the sort of short-led mixed match championship, the mixed match tournament thing.
Yes,
where he was with Alexa. There was Team Big Small, whatever their name was.
Something like that. Team Little Hands.
Was it something like that?
I can't
they were
remember.
big. Basically, Braun was 8'6".
Yeah.
And Alexa's like 4 foot nothing.
Yes.
So,
and that weird love angle they kind of did.
Yeah, with the Fiend, and then the Fiend turned up.
And then didn't, and then the Fiend turned up, and then Braun came back, and then the Fiend...
Braun shaved his head.
Yeah. Thankfully, he shaved his head.
Yeah, Braun shaved his head. And
like Corbin. Good decision.
Yeah. But we have Braun Strowman. And he's a Vince McMahon guy, really tall, really buff, strong, likes to throw people around the ring, throw people into cages, and he recently had a match at WrestleMania against your man, Shane O'Mac.
Yep, good old Shane, the best wrestler in the world. He won a cup for it, it's true.
Right, okay. So we have Braun, and he's really big, really tough, really strong, can do his choke slams, can do his power bomb. What's his like?
It's a power slam. It's the running power slam.
The running power slam, that's what he does. He does the running power slam. So, where would you put Braun Strowman? Where's he going to end up?
Again, I think similarly with the other ones. When he during the Alexa time, I can't remember what year it was. There was a time where he could have been WWE champion, and they didn't.
Yeah, I think he was Intercontinental for a bit.
Yeah, he was. But it was definitely a time frame. I was like, oh, this guy's great. He's a massive monster. He's crushing everyone. Cool. And then they didn't do anything with it. And then I think now, with the Shane stuff, even though I'm fully an advocate for dumb wrestling matches, I think they're great. With the Shane stuff and the stuff that happened before, he's not done much recently.
Yeah.
To the point where, if Braun comes up, it's now to the point where, Braun's getting a match at a pay-per-view. Well, Braun's either going to win somewhat convincingly or just lose. And it's I'm excited to see him, but not that excited anymore.
Right, okay. Well,
I don't know. It's again, I think decent's the lowest he can go. I'm not saying he goes in air or anything like that. He's still good. But I also think it's because there's other big men who are better than him, which I think's his issue now.
Yes,
There's other people doing the same gimmick that are just doing it better, unfortunately. Or getting booked better, anyway.
Well, let's see if we can't find a place for Braun Strowman to go on our list.
Where would you put him? Where would Braun go if you could move him?
As much as... If you've watched or listened to our WrestleMania Night 1 review of WrestleMania 37, you'll know that I had problems with the lead-up to the match between Shane O'Mac and Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
The fact that Braun Strowman was being portrayed as this bullied idiot, and Shane was being portrayed as this, corporate heel. I'm the son of the boss. I'm a McMahon, and you'll never get rid of me. And you're so stupid, Braun. Ha ha ha. That kind of thing. To the point where they showed a little report card, and they put a little dunce cap on Braun's little animated head. And I thought, why am I watching this? Those kind of thoughts go through my head a lot. But I can put that angle aside, and I can think, right, Braun the man, Braun the dude, yeah, fine wrestler, a good wrestler. Braun the character, maybe makes a couple of stupid decisions, does some things that I wouldn't expect him to do, especially later in his career. The Wyatt family, he was just like a mute enforcer, wasn't he?
Yeah, essentially.
Right, so and then he came into sort of his own sort of character of, get these hands.
Yes.
Which is a phrase that's taken on, I think, a bit of a life of its own.
Yeah, I mean, again, his these hands thing was cool. He definitely has potential. It's just not clicking quite right now.
Right. I'd say mid-decent.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a tough spot for him to go to, but let's put him in mid-decent and not say anything else about it.
Boom.
Right. Now, I like this guy. Who's next?
Up next, it's obviously Bad Bunny. No, it's not. It's Damien Priest.
It's Damien Priest. It's Damien Priest, yes.
Damien Priest.
From NXT, and we're going to judge him a bit on his NXT, a bit on his main roster stuff.
Yeah, well, we kind of have to talk about his NXT stuff. He's literally just come up.
Yeah, and has he come up? I really like how he's put in as sort of the best friend, the peer to Bad Bunny, and sort of like his like wrestler liaison, his wrestler ambassador.
Yeah, well, I first, because I knew of Priest from NXT, ran about his like North American Championship run and all that sort of stuff, and then like when I saw that, he's coming up. Obviously, there was rumors that he was going to go to SmackDown. He appeared in the Rumble, eliminated Kane. I was like, cool, it's good for him. He's eliminated someone big, in name and in stature, and then he came to Raw and was doing stuff for Bad Bunny, and I was kind of like, part of me was okay with it, but I was like, okay, well, he's just doing 24/7 stuff because R-Truth wants the belt and Bad Bunny's got it and he can't get it.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like, okay, well, I kind of want him to do something else. The match at Mania was really good. I think at the end of the story, it got better with the involvement of Miz and Morrison, and then eventually making it a tag team match and Priest getting involved. I feel like it's, as far as debuts goes, definitely could have been worse. We've seen worse main roster debuts by far. We've
seen very worse names from NXT. There's not a good track record. I think the last two people they've brought up from NXT, maybe the last three, if you count Bianca Belair, are the best they've ever brought up.
Yeah. True.
Are the best they've ever brought up, and two of them are women. But Damien Priest has been really successful, especially now on his main roster.
Yeah.
Debut. He's coming, maybe he's a little bit shaky with Bad Bunny and 24/7 title, but the moment that Miz comes in and really makes it feel like a wrestling feud, you'll get into it. And also, I've got to commend Bad Bunny in this. He's really made it work with Damien Priest, and he's really thrown his all into this. And you can tell that whenever they're on screen, they're both having a great time. They're both putting 100% into it. I love Damien Priest, like he always puffs up his chest. He's all like, "Oh, you don't want to mess with me, I'm a bad man," that kind of thing. That's really good as well.
No,
but I think he's also can be a very likable face, and I like when he's booked as a face.
True. I mean, again, I think he's good.
And we know for one that he's great in the ring.
Exactly. It's one of the things where he's good, and he could, again, I don't think he's AJ level, but he has also just debuted. So it'd be.
Well, we're taking his. As we do on this tier list, we take everything into account.
Yeah.
The career, large in general, the look, the style, the performance, everything. So.
So my thing is he better than, or would I rather watch them, not better than, but would I rather watch from him than Garza? Yes. Would I rather watch him than Braun? Probably. For me, it's where do I put him? Probably higher than Ali.
I don't think I would. I think I'd rather watch. If I saw a match between Damien Priest and Mustafa Ali, which sounds pretty good to me.
It does, to be fair.
Who would I want to win?
True.
Oh, maybe I want Ali to win.
Yeah, I would.
But in the same way, I like Damien Priest's momentum at the minute, so maybe I want Damien Priest to win.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not going to come down to a coin toss, is it?
It'll be a first.
No, well, right, okay. Are you backing Priest in this?
I don't know.
You know what? Right, okay. For the amount of time, let's.
Well, it depends, because maybe we put Ali ahead because Priest has only just come up and he's only.
Yeah, let's do that.
There we go.
But if they could be put together, they'd be on the same level.
Yes,
it's only because Priest hasn't spent that long on the main roster compared to Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
that's how we get round it.
Right, what's the deets? Who's coming up?
It's Mr. PowerPoint. It's Gulak. Drew Gulak.
Yes, Drew Gulak.
Very good name to say.
Yes, Drew Gulak.
That's kind of the
Gulak.
best part of him currently. Because, again, it's a Tozawa situation. He's not doing anything.
No. Do you think it's another air?
I think it's an air. I think what this is going to come down to is whose 24/7 segments are better.
Oh. Honestly, eaten by a shark hanging around with ninjas.
Yeah.
Whatever Drew Gulak's doing, running after R-Truth.
I think that's what he's done. He's just ran. It's just a lot of running.
He's a good runner.
Very athletic man.
He chases him around. But I don't think he's as good as Tozawa in this.
No, I think it's the thing. I think in the ring, yeah, he's better. On the mic, probably is. But what he's been doing currently...
Yeah, we have to take that.
Yeah.
To go on them. Into air with him, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, now we're talking. It's the Scottish psychopath. It's the Scottish warrior. Drew McIntyre. So, actually, that was pretty good, actually.
It's better than your previous attempts that you've done before.
It was. I've been working on it. So it is Drew McIntyre, former WWE champion.
Yes, former two-time WWE champion.
Yes, 2-time. He beat Brock Lesnar.
He did.
He beat oh god, his name escapes me.
Twice. It's mental. Who did he beat for the second time?
Was he? I swear he is 2-time, isn't he?
He is 2-time. He won it. Oh, because he lost it to. Yeah, because he won it against Brock, and then he lost.
No, I swear he just won it against Brock.
Look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out! Citation needed. Yeah, citation needed. We'll put a little citation. If he is, then good for him. If he's not, good for him.
I'm sure, like right near the end, it will come to us.
Right. We are talking about the man, though. We're talking about the man that has carried the company through the pandemic era.
Yeah.
We're talking about the man who has carried this company for so long on his back. He has been the face. Even when he was out with the virus, even when he was out of action, he was still giving his promos. He was still ready to come back and get back to the ring. And I think that's great. That's really inspiring. But also, I think he's so skilled in the ring. He's got his Claymore kick. It's really deadly. He's got that wrist lock he does. He's got all his cool rolls and moves. And I think he's absolutely awesome. Really, really good.
Oh, right. He lost it to Orton.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Oh,
yeah,
damn.
Because Orton had it. And then it was like, oh, Orton's going to go face Edge for the belt or face the Fiend, and he got it back. Yeah, he lost it from Orton.
Oh, we were right. He is a 2-time. Citation not needed.
There we are.
Well done, Corey. He did lose it to Orton, didn't he?
He did. But yeah, I mean, back on topic, yeah. So pandemic era, obviously, has been a bit unfortunate.
Yes.
He had crowds to help him, which I'm sure would have made things at least more memorable in a way. He's the first WWE champion from the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've not had one before. Like,
wow.
That's one reason why people wanted it, because people are like, oh, Bulldog should have been WWE champion. He wasn't. Regal should have been. He wasn't. I really think Regal should have been.
I swear to you, Regal was, but I know he wasn't.
Yeah, so he's the first one from the UK that has. Obviously, I would have liked Regal to do it because he also would have been English, but and Bulldog. But he's
he's the first Scottish champion as well, then.
Yes, yeah, he's the first. He's the first one from the UK because Finn, I believe, is the other island.
Yeah,
I think he's not the UK one.
No, he's not Northern Irish. I think he's Southern Irish.
I can't. Yeah. But yeah, so that helped him. So the crowd would have been great, but obviously he's still been doing good stuff. He beat Brock, which is great. He threw Brock out of the Rumble. Well, he kicked Brock out at the Rumble, which was fantastic. He's even though he lost it to Orton, it was still good. His match with Roman at Survivor Series was great.
Yeah.
So he's still been doing good stuff.
It's something I remember Drew from. Forgive me, but I remember Drew from NXT. When he was, baby face, beardless Drew McIntyre. And if you had told me back then that Drew McIntyre would become the face of the company, the top babyface WWE champion, I would not have believed you. But here we are.
I mean, in my head, the lowest he can go is sizzling.
Are we not judging the fact that he just get up to Real-tacular?
Well, this is the thing. I think he could definitely be up there, which is why I'm saying the lowest he can go is sizzling.
I think he's Real-tacular.
Yeah, why not? Whack him in there. There he is.
There we go. Welcome to Real-tacular. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior.
This now enters the question, will he ever be taken down? I don't actually know if he will, actually.
Well, I know that Bobby Lashley isn't on this list, so we'll get into it next time.
Good point. But this next person will not, unfortunately, be going in Real-tacular. I like Elias.
We have a lot. We can walk with Elias. Do you want to walk with Elias, Corey?
I would love to walk with Elias. To be fair, I'd love to walk with Elias. I'd love to be in Retribution with Ali. I
always thought that was a euphemism for something. Not being in Retribution with Ali, just walking with Elias.
Yeah, Hurt Business. Sign me up. Any heel faction or stable, sign me up.
Yeah. So, what's Elias doing at the minute? Let us know.
Also true. He's with Riker, isn't he, I guess?
Yeah. Well, that was a question. That wasn't a statement. I was saying, tell us what he's been doing lately.
I don't get, and we'll get on to Riker at some point. He is in this list. No, he's not. He's in tomorrow's list.
He's in part 2.
He's in part 2. You have to wait for that. I like Elias in terms of guy who comes out, sits down, strums a guitar, makes a 4-line song about why he hates the town he's in, which literally would get him. I forgot where he was. There's one place that's got him a lot of heat, a lot of it, and he wouldn't stop. The crowd would not stop booing him.
I remember he was a top heel.
Exactly, and for that, I think he's great. For getting heat, he's great, or at least he was comparable. Because
he was the guy that had come out. And I know there's a word for this, but he's the guy that come out and would insult the place where they are.
Yeah.
He's the guy that would come out to the hometown crowd or whatever, and just insult the place, insult the sports team, insult the local architecture, insult the state of the women, insult anybody.
His heat is comparable to Corbin's heat, where it's actually heat. It's not just because they're a heel.
It's not, yeah.
So I think, in that regard, he's great. I loved it when he came out with guitar, he hit a biddling when he comes out, he sits down, he does his thing.
He'd do the song about the place where they were, wouldn't they?
Which is great. It's much better than him walking out and going, I'm in Houston sucks, the Rockets are awful. Which is the basketball team.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I know somewhat about American football teams. Because I think that's what he did when he went there, to the place where he got massively booed. I think he assaulted the basketball team. But, in that regard, he's great. I knew that he had a match with Seth for the IC belt, I want to say, which was fantastic. Didn't win it, unfortunately. So I think in that regard it's great. The only issue I have is what he's doing now.
Right. Well, he's sort of been a lackey of Shane for a bit during the Braun feud.
Yeah, which I don't get why, because he came out at Mania to help Shane by trying to stop Braun from climbing the cell. However, first off, he helped Shane so he could get his song at Mania, which he never got. Shane made Elias face Braun without telling him he's facing Braun. Why would you then help Shane?
Yeah.
Come on, man. But no, what he's doing now with Riker is a bit hit and miss. Because all I really remember is Elias had a match with Jeff. Elias told Riker, do not help me, in a sarcastic voice. Riker literally didn't help him.
Yeah.
Elias got mad, and then Riker had a match with Jeff, and Riker won. And that's it was kind of this whole thing of Riker's winning, but Elias isn't. And Riker doesn't quite understand what Elias is saying. I don't get it.
Okay. Well, with all that taken into account, let's find a place to rank Elias.
I think he's at least decent.
Right. I think his skills on the mic, and his skills with that guitar, and his skills with his heel persona and his heel dialogue. I think it's definitely gonna carry him to decent. It may take him a little bit further. I'd be happy to see him a bottom or a mid sizzling.
I think he's right. Okay, I'll put it this way: is he better than Garza? Yes. Would I prefer to see him than Braun? Yes.
I think I'd possibly prefer to see him more than Damien Priest, even.
Yeah, again, it's going to be Ali, but it's potentially going
to
stop
we really like Mustafa Ali here.
We do. This is what we're finding out about ourselves.
Okay,
Ali
I'm willing to renege on my sizzling comment to put him in second decent.
Okay, I think that's
just
fair.
For what he's doing now. If he had a bit more time, maybe, or
yes, if he was doing more stuff, he would be higher up.
Yeah, but that's the nature of the beast, though, isn't it, Corey?
Yeah.
Not everybody can get 100% of the time. You have to kind of split it. But maybe if he had a good angle or a good feud, he'd be higher.
Yeah.
Now, I know Jeff Hardy is a favourite of yours.
I love his entrance. It's one of the main things.
Yes, and his high flying, dip and diving, jump style.
The charismatic enigma, and then he messed up saying it.
Yes.
Has he got no? He is just that. I like it. I like his other stuff as well. His TNA stuff was great. I liked him as Willow, which we haven't seen in WWE, and I kind of wish we did because I'd love to see Willow and the Fiend do something.
Yeah.
I liked his what were they called? What was the Hardy matches called again?
The Hardy matches.
Yeah, the TNA ones for something of deletion or whatever. I can't remember what called.
Oh yeah, because back in TNA it was Jeff and Matt, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, like Broken Matt came in and they had their matches, and then they kind of brought it to WWE, kind of. And then like his stuff recently has been good. His stuff with Sheamus I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
One of the only times I've brought in real stuff with Jeff and it's actually worked.
I don't. Oh, if Sheamus was on this list, maybe we could talk about that. But I don't think that was entirely Jeff's fault.
No, it wasn't.
I felt they just bring up the alcohol thing for a bit of cheap heat on Sheamus.
It's been done a lot, especially with other people. I know Punk and Jericho did it as well.
They did actually, yeah. That bit where Jericho slipped over in the
yes, which is the one part that I remember from all that. But like, I think that was their match was great. Was it the barroom brawl or whatever it was called?
Yeah. They had the barroom brawl. They had the famous recreation of the. Was it Shawn Michaels that said it, or something? It was like where Sheamus forced Jeff Hardy to do a drugs test or something in the ring. They had him go behind a little curtain and put some apple juice into put some iced tea into a nice jug as masquerading as urine. And Jeff Hardy said, "It's better to be pissed off than pissed on." Yeah, and he threw it into Sheamus's face.
Yeah, and then like so, I mean that was good. And then he came, and then he was doing stuff after that again, the Elias thing, where he beat Elias and didn't beat Riker.
He's become a bit of a journeyman feudster, hasn't he?
Yeah, the thing.
A bit of I'll just feud with you now, or I'll feud with you now, or I'll be in an elimination chamber match, or
he's used to like he's facing other people, but his matches aren't getting him anywhere.
I like whenever he has a gimmick match though. A ladder match is a perfect Jeff Hardy material.
Yes. In fact, his matches with Orton recently, with like the fingers through the ear, the screwdriver through the ear, was great.
Yeah, or something.
That was awesome. His match with Zayn and Styles for ladder match was okay, where he like got handcuffed to the ladder. And I was going to say that tried wearing it like a hat.
Ladder matches, high gimmick matches are really good.
It's somewhat surprising that he's still doing them.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
So I think he's good. Apparently, when Braun won the belt at Mania, I think it was. Apparently, it was either Braun or Jeff that was supposed to win it, and I kind of wish they picked Jeff.
Oh, could you have seen Jeff Hardy as the champion?
The pop would have been massive. Not as big as when he won it the first time, but it still would have been big because even after that, like Braun didn't really do much, and I think he lost it not long after that anyway. So they might as well have. But I think he's good. But it's the thing: do we do like we did with Ray, where Ray got into Real Tackler not just because of his stuff now, but also because of what he's done and like who he's inspired.
Yeah.
Because I think like Jeff's in a similar place where like people have watched matches, like the TLC matches, and have gone, right, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So do we also put him in the same position as Ray because of what he's done and what he's doing now?
In Real Talk, purely for his sort of legend veteran status. I say more a veteran than a legend.
Yeah.
But his veteran status, where he's become one of these guys that just stand out and withhold throughout everything, and sort of stand strong through the face of the years, and just keep on working, keep on moving. And he's never had to change very much. He's always had this sort of same. I know Willow's a thing, but he's sort of had the same sort of face paint, jumping high, high flying gimmick, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just one of those things where like he changes it up a little bit, but not too much, and then that's it. He's always been the same thing. He's pretty much had the same music the whole time. Does the same entrance where he waves his arms around. He always has the toilet paper in his pocket and he throws it away.
Yeah.
He's always been great. It's always been good to see.
I'm happy to see him go. If you're that passionate, I'm happy to see him go to Real Tackler.
He'll go in. I'll put him below Drew.
Yeah, he'll go mid, maybe bottom.
Now, this is
picture you've used. I find it incredibly offensive.
This is a fan favorite moment. This is.
It's fan favorite. It's WWE champion Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, do not hinder.
What were they doing when they gave him the belt? But, sorry, I interrupted you.
I was saying, do not hinder the Jinder, man. It was good. You know what?
Don't hinder the Jinder.
You know what?
I do not plan to hinder the Jinder, but why did they give Jinder the belt in the first place? Especially against John Cena. But
I was watching, but it was against Orton, by the way.
Sorry. Was Cena involved?
I don't know.
Oh.
If it was against Cena, it would have been a whole different story. No, it was Orton. Yeah, because he won like a gauntlet match to be number one contender, and I remember seeing that and being like, oh, Jinder's getting a number one contenders match. And I was like, okay, it's almost like Tamina at Mania, where like you don't expect them to be in a title match, and then it's like Santino when he got me like he won the Battle Royal. It's like, oh, like this almost comedy-ish person is getting a title match, but normally they don't win. Santino didn't win. At Mania, Tamina didn't win. However, I remember watching this match, and like again, like Mania, I was kind of in like a dazed state. It was like the main event, I was half falling asleep, and then I wake up and see Jinder Mahal holding the belt up, and I just shut up like, what? Just staring at the screen.
It's as clear as day in my mind's eye, Corey. You sort of rub your eye. You're on your bed. The TV's in front of you. You sort of rub your eyes. You're like, what? You do a bit like a double take.
Yeah.
Your eyes, you're squinting, and you see Jinder holding the belt. Do not hinder the Jinder.
And it's like, you know what? My issue is, right, okay, cool. He won the belt. I love it when a wrestler who isn't supposed to be champion wins the belt. NXT did it recently with Leon Ruff, or Leo Ruff, I believe his name is. He won the North American Championship out of nowhere. And then eventually lost it to Gargano again. So I love it when they do that. The problem is, all he did afterwards was essentially have a match with loads of matches with Orton, outcome the Singh Brothers, they distract him, he hits the Colossus, he wins. And he had like, Khali came back, and the Punjabi prison match came back, and that was it.
Punjabi prison match.
Like, he almost held the belt for too long when he should have.
Right, yeah, But like, what's he doing now? Again, you know the last time I saw Jinder Mahal was?
Where was the last time you saw Jinder Mahal, Murray?
It was at WrestleMania 37. Do you know what he was doing?
What was he doing, Murray?
He was just standing there while Beba Rexha sung America the Beautiful.
This is the other thing. What has he done?
And Mia Yim was behind him for a weird reason, not being in Retribution.
It's like...
And Rhea was in front of him, crying her eyes out, bless her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like what has he done after winning the belt? Pretty much nothing.
No, I've got to say, in defence, okay, I'm now going to become Jinder's lawyer, I've got to defend him. In defence, he has been heavily involved in the Saudi Arabia shows.
True.
And in whenever they go to India.
Yes. Okay. India makes sense. India makes sense. I know we had a match against Drew, somewhat recently-ish, which is obviously a callback to the whole three-man band thing.
Yes.
Which was apparently maybe supposed to even be a Mania match, but it wasn't. I think that was. But that was the India one. The way I went to India, that was him versus Drew.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, they broke up the Singh brothers. They're now, I want to say 205 Live, NXT, I think. He's not even on. He was 24/7 champion at one point.
Yeah.
He pinned Maverick on a plane, I believe. Or no, it was a golf cart. Or was it both? I can't remember.
I've got no idea.
I think the golf cart one was definitely true. I think he literally drove past Maverick on a golf cart, pinned him, got back in the golf cart, left. I'm pretty sure he also pinned him on a plane.
Right.
But other than that, again, he's not doing much. However, I will say this. Whenever Jinder pops up, I do get a little excitement, only because normally I find him somewhat amusing. He's become this comedy character, and it's somewhat working.
Right, okay.
So
well, he's supposed to be
give
like a
him
comedy mid-card, isn't he?
Exactly. Like when he won the 24/7 championship, I was like, yeah, cool, okay, I don't mind that. It's funny. It's Jinder Mahal.
You know what, Corey? I can't believe we've been speaking this long about Jinder Mahal.
I know, right?
Let's just do it. Let's just stop the middleman and let's just put him somewhere indecent.
Yeah. That is where he's going. I agree.
Bottom decent, but above Angel Garza.
Yeah, why not?
Below Braun Strowman. That was a very quick decision.
There's nothing wrong with Garza. All right, there is nothing wrong with Garza. However, he just needs to be used more, man.
Now, here we have. Right, I'll let you introduce this man.
Great, that's it. Put the impression on me. I get how it works.
Yeah. Is he an awesome man?
He is. He is a very awesome man. He's also a musical artist and actor.
Yes, we love his single "Hey Hey Hop Hop." It's great.
And a guy who
play the music video. No, don't.
And a guy who very frequently forgets phone numbers.
Apparently so.
That's a reference to something that many people might get.
Right. But yes, we're talking about Mr. Miz, the Miz, Mizan, whatever his name is. Yes, we're talking about the Miz himself. Now, like Jeff Hardy, the Miz has been around for a while, and he's become one of these people who many young talents sort of aspire to be like or are influenced by, as we mentioned with Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy. He's been in the business so long that he's now got people who are sort of working on the same brand as him, on the same company as him, who were inspired by him as children.
Yes.
So I find that amazing. I find they can sort of stand the test of time like that. But they call him the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. Wait, no, it's not The Rock. Sorry, they call him the most hardworking man in sports entertainment. I swear, no, it's something like that. It's like hardworking or something. He does a lot of stuff.
It's hardworking. It's hardworking. Electrifying is definitely The Rock.
Electrifying is definitely The Rock. So if The Rock was here, he'd be getting spectacular.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Weird tangent about The Rock. Anyway, back to The Miz.
You out the way, man.
Has The Miz ever fought The Rock?
You know what?
Were they around at the same time? At some point?
Well, they would have been when The Rock was back with, like, Cena, when all the two Mania matches were happening.
Oh. Citation needed. Has The
Miz ever fought The Rock? I've got a feeling he's, like, at least cut a promo on him or something.
Yeah, he must have. I'd love to see The Rock and Miz interact. Citation needed. I have to find out about that. Anyway, moving away from The Rock.
Yes.
Let's go to The Miz. Yes. Now, I think less of an in-ring talent, but he can definitely go in the ring.
Yeah.
You get Miz, you get him on the mic, it's going every time.
Yeah, one of the best promos in recent years was his Talking Smack promo.
Yes.
The IC belt promo where he had a go at Daniel Bryan.
Oh, that's correct. That is legendary.
Yes, which then led to the feud of The Miz and Bryan, which led to The Miz using the it kicks. But I mean, to be fair, that feud was really good. I wish it had an actual ending, because it never really ended. But, I mean, that was great. He teamed up with Shane McMahon, won the Tag Team Championships at Mania, then lost to Shane in a cage match, because Shane took his shirt off, essentially. But to Miz's credit, Money in the Bank, technically, he didn't win the match, but he got the briefcase in court. Stuff with Morrison, when Morrison came back, was great. I love the fact that they put them back together rather than just having
Miz and Morrison, always a good time.
Exactly. Also, the only 2-time... what's it called?
What?
What's it called when you win all the belts?
You're a Grand Slam champion.
Yes, he's the only 2-time Grand Slam champion. Ever.
Really?
The only one. Because he's won it. He's won it in like 2 versions of what a Grand Slam champion was.
Right,
You have like the old ones was like the hardcore belt and the world heavyweight and stuff.
My problem with being a Grand Slam champion is there's always more belts.
Yeah, well that's why they change them. So
they change what is the criteria?
So it used to be like hardcore counted, your world heavyweights counted, your WWF counted. But nowadays you have to hold a top belt, so Universal WWE. You have to hold a mid-card belt. I don't think 24/7 counts.
No.
And you have to hold a tag team belt.
Right.
So AJ Styles has just become one at WrestleMania. But The Miz has done it twice because he did it this year with the WWE belt, with tag team with Shane, the IC run. And then he did it in the previous one with like in like the 2000s, early 2000s, 2010s.
Yeah.
So he's done it twice in 2 time frames, which is 1, because it's awesome, and 2, because it's been around that long, but he can do it twice. So he has that to go into consideration. Also, him winning the belt against Drew, I genuinely enjoyed, because the timing wasn't maybe a bit off, because he had the briefcase for ages and just didn't cash it in. But I'm glad that he at least won the belt from a cash-in. Bobby then beat him not long afterwards, but hey,
he was what you call a transitional champion this year or last year.
But that was fine. I'm fine with. I mean, obviously it's Lashley, right? Lashley's going to win against the Miz, of course he is.
Yeah.
Then the stuff with Bad Bunny.
Yeah, if I can go on to sort of recap this.
Yep.
He gets into a feud with Bad Bunny, trashes Bad Bunny's car, makes a shit music video, and now they had a match at Mania, and Miz lost it.
Yes.
But I think I've previously said this in this video that when you add the Miz to anything, he immediately makes it 10 times better.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. His skill on the mic, his sort of he's like the movie star of the company, isn't he? He's like, oh, I've been in the Marine. Have you seen the Marine 6 Close Quarters or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Have you seen my Marine films? They're really good or whatever. They're not good. Hey, maybe we should review the Marine films on this channel at some point.
I've only seen the first one with Cena, and that's it.
Oh, I've seen the second one with that had the guy that played Django Fett in it, Tamora Morrison. But that's all I can remember. I've not seen the one with Cena, and I know the last one had Shawn Michaels and Becky Lynch in it.
Yeah, I know Orton did it for like one film as well.
Did Orton do it for a film?
Yeah, I think Cena did it, then Orton did it, and then it's just been The Miz for the entire time.
Oh, right, okay. I have this weird... I don't know. I have this weird memory. Were you sure it was Orton?
Yeah, either he definitely did it, or he was going to, and then people didn't want him to, or something.
I think he was going to. I think that might be the story there. Right, so where would you put The Miz? Where would he be rated? I think... I have no problem with him going to Rotacular.
Yeah, again, it's similar with Drew. The lowest you can go is Sizzling, but I'm fine with whacking him up in Rotacular.
Right, or would he go to Sizzling? Because I know the man that's coming up next would be going into Sizzling.
True.
So would The Miz go to Rotacular? Let's cut our losses and let's put him in Rotacular.
Okay. Bottom.
I'd say bottom Rotacular just for now.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we have John Morrison, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, as he was called.
All these names.
All the names, but just one man. He's like your Kofi Kingston. You're jumping around, doing your stunts, doing your athletic parkour moves. He's great. He's a fantastic wrestler. Very, very talented.
Hey, John Morrison, how many wrestling names do you want? Yes, that's him. That's a really old meme that I thought I'd use.
That good job. Classic meme.
I'm showing my age.
Yes, indeed you are. However, his skills are nothing to shake at. He's very talented.
Very good.
He's also good as the comedic foil heel to Miz. Of course, I liked him best when he was in Impact, but that's beside the point.
His parkour stuff's good. His Rumble stuff before Kofi was good.
Yeah.
His diving off the top of the chamber by like climbing up to the top and letting go was good.
Yeah, I remember that.
Again, like with Miz, his comedy stuff is good. It's almost like whenever the Miz says something, Morrison doesn't quite get that he's not supposed to answer. It's like he doesn't get what a rhetorical question is, so he answers everything.
Yeah.
Which can work really well.
I like that sort of comedy gimmick,
Well, exactly, because it's essentially almost the opposite to the Miz. The Miz is serious, and Morrison isn't.
In like the sidekick character, especially to a guy like the Miz, Morrison is fantastic. He's perfect.
Yeah, and I think he's good. I think when he wrestles, he's fantastic.
Yes, he is. He's one of those guys that just has it. He's one of those guys that has everything. My voice is going. Sorry, I apologize. One of those guys that has everything. Like he has the look. He has the look at his abs. Look at that picture. My God, he's got abs for days. But he's got the voice. He's got the charisma. He's got the style. My only problem is I'd like to see him go a little bit higher in WWE.
Yeah, that's what I'd
like to see him break out and get a belt or two.
Yeah.
So for that reason, he's going to go to Sizzling.
This is the question though. Morrison or AJ?
AJ.
Yeah.
But second Sizzling, nothing to be ashamed of.
Now, I have a question for you, Murray.
Okay, ask away.
Are you going to bask in the glory?
I'm already basking in the glory. I'm basking in the glory at this very second. It is Keith Lee. Now, I'm a fan of Keith Lee.
He's
but
really good.
You know what I'm not a fan of, Corey?
What could it possibly be, Murray?
Keith Lee on Raw.
Yeah.
What have they done? It's like that Godfather meme. Show that Godfather meme. Look how they've massacred my boy. They have. He is a victim of the NXT call-up curse. The fact that he was amazing on NXT. He was like a big guy, but it's like I talked about it on the SmackDown Men's review, the tier list. I love those big guys who look big, who look deadly, but they can move really quick. And Keith Lee's one of those guys. He can duck and dodge. He can throw the moves. He can throw the slams. He can dive over the ropes. He looks great. He looks fluid. I don't know why in his crazed, senile old mind, I don't know why Vince would be possessed to change his gear, change his theme, and make him go back to the PC. I think that's insane.
Yeah, he hasn't been used correctly, unfortunately.
No, he needs to be used correctly.
He was used correctly a couple times.
Initially, like him beating Randy Orton, that's good to boost him up. He should have had
Survivor Series stuff before he debuted, with him being like the sole survivor from NXT, Roman like giving him a fist bump and acknowledging him. That was great because you've
the whole bit with Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar's like, who's this fucker, or whatever he said,
Yeah, and so you have him with these big name stars, with Roman, and Roman giving him that fist bump, with Brock, who's like in the Rumble, destroys everyone. Who's next? Oh, it's Keith Lee, and Brock's like happy because it's other big man, and they have this massive fight. And
they like square up. Yeah, that very infamous image of Brock Lee. Brock Lee. Who's Brock Lee?
You did this last time. You put Sammy and Owens together.
I did. I'm going. Oh God, it's early on set dementia. I tell you,
watching too much Dragon Ball Z.
It's Brock Lee and Keith Lesnar. Brock Lee and Keith Lesnar.
As a Dragon Ball Z reference to everyone.
What was that?
I was saying you've been watching too much Dragon Ball Z. A little bit of a fusion.
Yeah.
What they do in Dragon Ball. Put the fingers together. Wow.
I'm saying it's a famous image of Brock Lesnar and Keith Lee squaring up to each other. They're the same height. They're the same build. Oh my God, what are these two monsters? What are these going to do? What are these two monsters going to do? You know?
Yeah, and like when he got on the main roster, his stuff with Orton was good. He had a few couple matches with Drew, and then after that, he's not really done much, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, he just kind of, after we got the news that he went away for some dog-brained reason, I never understand the thinking behind that. Why would you tell Keith Lee of all people that we think you need to go back and do more, learn how to wrestle like a WWE? He does know how to wrestle, for God's sake. He's been doing it. I'm convinced they don't even pay attention to what people in NXT are doing.
Yeah.
It's obvious with the handling of so many people. The list is as long as my arm, possibly longer. He
has very long arms. I'm just going to put that out.
Yeah, so I think it's... Thank you for the visual reference.
You're welcome.
I think I think he was another casualty of the fact that main roster cannot handle people from NXT or don't know how to handle them correctly in their call-up. I just said the past 3 people who've come up from NXT are probably the best they've ever handled ever. And that was in the last, 4 or 5 weeks in Mania?
Well,
and
yeah, unless you don't count Bianca, because technically she came up like a year ago and didn't really do much.
Yeah. I don't really want to count Bianca in that, but I count Bianca in
that. Her recent stuff, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she's still known as, like, NXT Bianca by many, I think.
Yeah.
Even the graphics guy, a little reference to the WrestleMania 37 review. But for Keith Lee, I think he's got the skills. Sure, main roster, he's not done the best, but I don't think that's his fault. I think that's the fault of shitty booking.
Yeah.
I think that's the fault of people not understanding what Keith Lee's about, people not understanding how Keith Lee's particular style wasn't there a very spread quote from Vince McMahon saying he doesn't get Keith Lee?
Yes, I believe.
If you don't know, listeners, I did the rabbit ears, the speech marks with my hands when I said that. He doesn't get Keith Lee. I thought, what shit is that, Vince? Yeah. Come on. Anyway, I think that Keith Lee is a fantastic talent. I think that he's going to be incredibly successful whenever he's brought back onto the main roster. I can't remember the last time I saw him. I think it may have been the Orton match.
Most likely, yeah.
But I'd say for his NXT work, sizzle him. Bottom sizzle him. Put him behind Morrison.
I'm in agreement.
Okay. And also, is he married or engaged to me?
Engaged?
Engaged. Best of luck to them. Congratulations.
Yes.
So, who's up?
Lindsay Dorado.
Yes. What do you know about this man?
Former Lucha House Party member.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right. Okay. So, well, I know that the Lucha House Party are very, skilled in-ring lucha-style wrestlers.
Yes.
I've got a lot of immense respect for lucha wrestling.
Yeah.
Like AAA and stuff like that. And all the stuff that the cool lucha people do, the good lucha thing, as I said during this in SmackDown, in the SmackDown review, SmackDown tier list.
Yeah, I mean, like it's definitely a nice kind of like.
Yeah.
It's you don't see it often, I guess, which is good. Well, you're in WWE anyway. But yeah, I mean, I can't. All I know him from is Lucha House Party with Kalisto and Malik, and then they split it up because Kalisto got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I've seen them since. I think they've popped up every now and then in like a tag team match.
Yeah.
And that's it.
They're very up and down,
Yeah. And again, in ring, I think he's decent. From what I remember of watching them, they can be quite entertaining. Do some cool stuff, some cool tag team moves where they work together. On the mic, I don't know if I've ever heard them talk.
Okay, yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a hard one, because again,
I think, but I'm thinking.
I think
Yeah, maybe top maybe a little bit, because Lucha House Party. I'm a fan. I think they're very cool, very successful when they can be successful.
Yeah.
Top
There we go.
There we go. You sorted it. Top
Yeah, we got it. Now, we've mentioned Ali.
Yes.
We put Ali in his place.
We
now
have
one of his former members.
We have a member of Retribution have arrived. They're wrecking the ring. They're wrecking the ring. They're taking over. They're smashing up servers and smashing lights and taking the ropes down or whatever they do. And then they turn up a week later, all in Predator masks.
Yeah.
Looking like Bane or I was born in the dark. I wondered what would break first. The stage lights or the ring or the ring rope, Dear, how many times could I get away with that Bane impression?
To be fair, I mean it's been a while. I always
Which one is this? Is this T-Bar or is this Mace?
It's Mace.
Right, Mace Windu.
Yes.
Mace Windu.
That's
Take a seat. Take a seat, Mustafa Ali.
Formerly, I can't remember what his name was before. He was, oh God, what was it? Former Raw commentator, I believe.
Right, okay.
Yeah, no, that's correct. He was on Raw commentary for a bit before Joe took his place. Had a couple interactions with Brock.
Right, yeah. I think he's one of the two big guys from Retribution now. Now, Retribution has been I don't want to say, but it's been one of the most failed groups in the main roster for a very long time.
It has been. They
haven't really gotten anywhere. They never got anywhere in the first place. It was spawned off the SmackDown hacker angle.
Yes.
Which was actually ended up being Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Because it had his logo on the computer screen, if you remember that.
Yes. And then, all I remember is they came in, right, and they were they're on Raw, they came out, beat people up. They're on SmackDown, came out, beat people up. The Thunderdome screens would all turn off and glitch. I was like, that's cool, that makes sense. He's a hacker, right? He's doing all the hacking stuff. He's hacking the screens.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was the draft is happening. Retribution have been drafted to Raw. I'm like, why would you draft these people?
Why would you draft these people? It was Dio Madden, by the way, is his name.
Yes, thank you. They've done it before, where Heath Slater didn't get drafted. And they did the whole gimmick with Rhino, where he's I've got kids, and he won the SmackDown Championship. Just have them turn up on both.
Yes.
Have them turn up on both, and then have them just win a belt, and then they're kind of forced to sign them. Don't just we want Retribution. That's who we want. Yes, we want Retribution in our brand, because why?
Retribution. We want the group that's going to destroy WWE.
Yeah.
On exactly. WWE.
We will have them, please. And then
we'll have the people who want to wreck our ring and break our lights and really injure our talent. They're going to be great talents.
The thing is, right, I can look past the attire. I know people had an issue with the masks, and you can.
You know what? I don't mind the masks.
I don't mind them.
People have come out. Actual wrestlers come out and said, "You know what? I think this is pretty cool."
Yeah, I think people's issues were, you can tell who they are, right? You could tell, that makes sense. But I mean, the masks are fine. I can get past the names.
I can't get past the names. I think the names are awful.
Oh,
Mace and T-Bar and Slapjack. Do you know what Slapjack is? Do not look that up on Urban Dictionary.
But I can get past that.
Whatever. There's Rampage. Is that her name? Mercedes Martinez was in it for about 2 weeks.
She was.
We never even got to know what she was called. And Mia Yim is not Reckoning anymore. But her name was Reckoning, but now she's just Mia Yim again.
The thing is with Retribution and essentially Mace, because all he's done, unless even in NXT, I don't really think he really did much, all he's done currently is Mace and Retribution. The issue is you had the perfect chance of one doing something similar to the Shield, where his group comes in, over Nexus, group comes in.
Right, I was thinking more Nexus than Shield.
But it's a similar thing. A group comes in, tears everything apart, beats people up. you could have had it where, like, okay, cool, you have two female tag team champions, or they can both win the women's belt, but you've got two female tag team champions.
Right. Okay, why not? Right, let me just propose this.
Yep.
Why not go away from all like the masked goons in hoodies and stuff like that? Why don't we come out with... Why don't we... And by mask, I don't mean like what they're wearing. I mean masks like balaclavas, you know? Yes. Just balaclava, hoodie-wearing thugs just trashing the ring and trashing the lights and whatever. The lights would go off and Michael Cole and Cole would get really scared. And they go, oh, was that Retribution? The group called Retribution? Or whatever. When they're looking around like headless chickens. But what they need to do is they need to have come out, bang, straight away. These guys, they're former NXT talent. They feel like they've been wrong. Like, basically do Nexus again.
Yeah.
But this time, follow through with it. And don't have them be murdered by Super Cena and Randy Orton. Just do it. Yeah. Just do it properly. That you can have an anarchy group, but you need to make the anarchy group actually spread anarchy. Maybe it becomes a thing where the whole roster has to team up and take them out, or maybe it's because they start attacking the champions and like trying to make a mockery out of WWE or something like that. Really try and make it work in some way that's intense, or some way that actually feels like, oh yeah, this group isn't in WWE. They've come from within as like a parasite to destroy and to invade the company. That sounds much better.
Yeah, this is a thing, right? Yeah, so you can have you could do the I'd say the evolution thing, but I don't actually know if they ever did it. Or like the Undisputed Era thing, where like everyone has a belt. You could do that somewhat easily.
I think that's a bit much, but all right, I'm willing to go with it.
No, but like at least some of them could, because Evolution did it where like someone has the tag team, someone has like the mid card, someone has the main.
Yeah, sure.
Like, Undisputed Era did it where you had the champion, tag team, and the mid card belt. Right, so you could do something similar. You could have it where they come in, wreck place. It's perfect chance for Ali to become champion. He's got like 4 people around him who can help him win the belt. Why did he not win it? And then all they did was they come out, they trash the ring, they get signed, they lose all the time, they get like embarrassed by the New Day. Which also, the best part of Retribution for me is whenever the New Day would win, Woods would keep calling out Reckoning, saying he wants to fight Reckoning. In my head, that's all I remember from Retribution. Is New Day, Woods calling out Reckoning. It's that you had a chance and it didn't work. I think Mace, for what he's not done, more than what he's done, is I think he's got to be air.
Right, okay.
He's air or maybe bottom decent. I could possibly push for the fact decent.
That I do, you know what? I like his look. He looks like a mean, plastic predator.
Yep.
And I think that's all right. I think they're now in the Hurt Business, aren't they?
I don't know.
Or they're like MVP's bodyguards or something.
They came out to help Lashley, yes.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, if any man can bring any stars up, it's MVP.
Oh God, of course.
So I'm sure that if they join the Hurt Business, that essentially Hurt Business is somewhat what Retribution could have been. But
I think so. Yeah, that's true. So right, okay, I'm willing to settle for. Right, but it's top air. It's the old adage, the old argument of, is bottom decent better than top air?
Bottom decent's better, yeah.
Oh, okay, top air then.
Yeah.
There you go, Mace Windu.
Now, this is going to be an interesting one.
Our truth.
I know what
Dance break. Right, let's see if we can. What do you think of our truth? Especially, right, I'm not going to say, what do you think of our truth, I don't know, 5 years ago. Yeah. The R Truth now, the 24/7 champion R Truth gimmick. What, he's had it, 73 times, is it?
Yeah, that's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, well, he keeps getting it. That's the thing. That's the joke. The joke is that someone will take it, like, I don't know, Alicia Fox or Drew Gulak or Tozawa or Knox County, Tennessee Mayor Glenn Jacobs will, pick up the 24/7 championship, and then R-Truth will have to sneak his way, backstage, or the Gobbledygooker will have to sneak his way backstage and, distract him or something, roll him up and get the belt back.
I forgot Gulak was a gobbledygooker for a day.
Do you forget that Gobbledygook at Survivor Series 2020 was 24/7 champion?
Yeah, well, it was Gulak. Gulak was in the suit.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I forgot he did bad. It's still not as good as Sharks. It's fine.
Oh dear, never mind. The Gobbledygooker won't save you, Drew Gulak.
You know what, right? R-Truth, when he came in as, like, first off, K-Quick was alright with Road Dogg, fine. He came back. The whole Little Jimmy stuff was somewhat entertaining. It got over, 100%. The whole stuff after that with, like, Cena's his idol, right? Oh, he's my favourite wrestler, Cena, even though R-Truth's older than John Cena is. Which I think is part of the joke. And, like, R-Truth was doing Cena's moves, he was doing the 5-knuckle shuffle, he was going for, like, the attitude adjustment. And then the 24/7 championship R-Truth, and / with Carmella and the other stuff he's done. Genuinely, especially early 24/7 when it first came out, was, like, one of my favourite things about, like, WWE. I remember, like, Mavericks won the 24/7 championship from R-Truth, and I search up, like, how did he get it? Like, how did they think of some creative way for R-Truth to get pinned or Maverick to get pinned and them to win it back? Because it was funny. And the whole, like, Maverick Truth thing, where Maverick's walking around with wanted posters for Truth, and R-Truth takes the belt off of Maverick before he's about to consummate his marriage. He takes it off him at his wedding. I thought it was great. Obviously now, it's a bit over the top. However, R-Truth is still the best thing about the 24/7 championship. I think for him not being in the mid-card or him not being in the main event works for R-Truth. It doesn't work for Gulak, really, and it doesn't work for Tozawa, really. But I think for R-Truth, it makes perfect sense. I also keep forgetting, but one, he can actually wrestle really well. Really
he can. He can. I've seen him in, like, matches like Bray Wyatt and such. He's done very well.
Really good worker. He's good on the mic. His entrance is great. He sings. He gets the crowd pumped.
Also, he's funny. He's really, really funny.
Exactly.
When he's on Raw Talk or when he's on Talking Smack or whatever, when he actually gets to speak off the cuff, he sounds great. He flows really well. It's funny. It's wonderful.
I really like R-Truth. As a comedy character, he's
right.
He's just fresh, isn't he? He's just fresh. He pops up
We're
on TV.
both thinking the same thing, aren't we?
I hope
Where
so.
he's going to go. On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Sizzling.
Oh.
What?
I was going to vouch for Realtacular.
What?
Yeah.
Realtacular?
Yeah.
For the 24/7 champion R-Truth, Realtacular.
First off, 70 whatever time champion R-Truth.
Oh, okay.
Veteran of the business.
Yeah.
R-Truth. I don't know. I just think he's hilarious.
I think he's funny. I don't think he's Maybe that's part
of the joke.
You're gonna have to convince me. You're gonna have to convince me.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's part of the joke. He gets in Realtacular because he's funny, and that's it. Oh, he's better than AJ because he's funny. That's part of the joke. Maybe
this isn't a comedy show, Corey. As much as funny as we are, you know.
I mean, I feel like he has, obviously, in ring, is AJ, is Morrison, is Keith Lee better? Yes. However, for someone to be a comedy character and to do it for that long and be as successful,
and as over as R-Truth is,
takes a lot of talent, a lot of skill, and for someone to be in a bit, I can't remember how many years he's been doing wrestling for, but a lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
Okay. Shall we cash in the old you get what you want, and later, and if I pick some, I say something, they'll have to go there.
Sure.
Right. Okay.
We'll do that. I'll
right. R-Truth goes to bottom. I hope he's going bottom, Realtacular.
No, I'm working him at the front now.
Right. There you go, R-Truth.
I'm interested in seeing who you're going to cash it in for. There's not many people left.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Again,
We have there's voices in his head. They talk to him. They tell him things. It's Randall Keith Orton.
It is.
The Viper, the Apex Predator, the Ambush Predator, whatever they call him.
Another veteran of the wrestling world.
The veteran. He's got the RKO. What move could be as over as the RKO?
Genuinely, one of my favourite finishers.
Me too. I love how we can. That's the meme, isn't it? The RKO out of nowhere.
It can happen at any time, at any point, and it can. He's literally done it at random points.
Yeah, it's always a finish. What is as over as the RKO and gets as much pop as the RKO?
I think that helps it is it's also one of the more protected finishes. If he hits it, you've essentially lost.
Yeah, other wrestlers have come out and said if I could have any move other than my finisher, I'd have the RKO.
Yeah.
Because the RKO is a guaranteed finisher.
Yes.
Every time, he's sneaking. They do the Randy Orton slither, and they go the watch out, and then he goes boom.
It's the thing. I feel like it's for a good finisher. It's two things. It's one, remove. Okay, it's a couple of things. One, the move has to actually look impactful, like an RKO, like a stunner. Two, it has to be protected, like the F5. Let's say F1. Like the F5, where like if Brock hits the F5, if Taker hits the tombstone, you're not kicking out. And added bonus has to be hit from anywhere, like the Sweet Chin Music. You can hit a super kick like the RKO from most places. Because for surprises, it's great. Because it's that good like comeback thing of, they're gonna lose, and then bam, they're back in it, hit a super kick, hit a Sweet Chin Music.
It's got the speed, it's got the power, it's got the intensity, it's got the impactfulness.
Exactly.
The RKO is like the perfect finisher, and Randy Orton has perfected it. My favourite thing is, this when Seth, I think it was at a Mania.
It was.
Seth, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yep.
Seth was going for his curb stomp. He did the step up. He was in the air. Randy Orton gets up and just RKOs him, and the crowd goes wild.
I mean, like, we could literally put Randy Orton in Real Tackler just for his finisher alone.
Right, well, let's put him in Real Tackler, then we'll talk about how amazing Randy Orton is.
Where do you want to whack him in this list of people?
Right, second.
Yeah.
Just behind Drew, just behind. But if as I said, if there was a place where they could go on the same level, they would be. But they're even doing sort of a similar pose.
True.
And yeah, Randy Orton does have the instant, where he gets up on the ropes, he does the thing with his arms, and the way he sort of walks to the ring is really slow and imposing. He's like getting ready. He's the Viper. He could strike you with his RKO and with his punt kick or something like that.
I mean, his work, especially him. Okay, right. First off, he has to be a heel. For starters,
there is no face Randy Orton. You can't convince me otherwise.
It's like Cena. As much as people want Cena to be a heel, Cena can't be a heel. Right, Roman can be a heel, but it's great. Cena can't do it.
No.
It's and that's why I think it also worked great. Obviously, people give Cena Orton shtick because the amount of matches they've had, but
it's like Superman and Batman, though, isn't it?
Yes, they're the opposites of each other. Even the backgrounds are similar, kind of.
Yeah.
And like they both came up at the same time, and Orton is just great at being a heel. The Orton Triple H thing, where like Randy Orton's like kissing Stephanie and Triple H is locked up in the corner, is great. Evolution obviously is good.
Yeah. It is like
stuff as well.
Yeah.
His stuff with Edge, I feel like it's the best thing he's done recently.
Oh, Randy Orton and Edge were absolutely awesome.
Because I know, like him and Kofi had matches and they were like okay, but there's the thing with Orton that people say is like if he's not properly into something, you can tell.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's true.
But then, like with Edge, you can tell and with The Fiend, you can tell he's in it, he's involved.
Yeah.
And you know what? I quite like his method of wrestling. I don't mind his slow sort of like pace. I don't mind it.
Well, I've got to say that, sure, Randy Orton may look slow when he's wrestling in the ring and when he's, pulling off his kicks and his suplexes and whatnot. But when he can turn it on and when he can snap and become the Viper and get the RKO, he's lightning quick.
Exactly.
And that's what surprises you about him. You're thinking like, oh yeah, Randy's taking some offense, Randy's down, they're going for like like a moonsault or something. And Randy will bam, RKO, and then it's over.
Yeah.
That is the impact, that is the finish, and Randy nails it every time. It's an art form now. So
I mean, he's fantastic.
He is. So that was Randy Orton, and he gets up to real tackle. I think he's been there for a while, and we're still talking about how great he is. So next, who do we have? Who do we have up next?
We have Riddle, formerly Matt Riddle.
Formerly Matt Riddle.
Now Riddle.
Now Riddle. You know what? The thing about Matt Riddle is, I was thinking that. Oh, sorry, I've just forgotten. Let me just scoot away. Excuse me, bye. There you go. I thought I was going to leave it long enough. That is, of course, a reference to a few weeks ago on Raw when Matt did that exact thing with Oscar. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't know Riddle from his even his former wrestling stuff, right? Obviously, former UFC star Riddle, and then in NXT.
I knew him from NXT. He was very over at the live shows, especially. I've seen footage. And
I didn't know early Riddle. I knew Riddle when he was teaming with Pete Dunne. Round about that time frame.
Oh yeah.
And I quite like that. I think that had a nice dynamic. Riddle was very charismatic, and Pete Dunne was very straightforward. Doesn't want to be there, which is great.
Yeah,
Then he came up. And then he's not really done much.
Mm-hmm.
He came up. He won the US Championship. He kicks off his flip flops or his sliders.
He does wear those. He does wear those flip flops.
Which is, on its own, somewhat impressive that he can kick them off every time.
Yeah.
Michael Cole gets a massive kick out of it. But again, it's one of the things where, in NXT, they're over. And Riddle, I think, is more over with his mic stuff, or what he does, and, his actions, rather than his wrestling.
His character confuses me, but that's beside the point. He's sort of taken on this... Well, no, in NXT, right? In NXT, he was, the laid-back kind of guy. He's cool, and he can go, and he's fast. But he's just kind of cool about it, and he's and I can... so that made him, whenever he'd team up with another sort of badass babyface, it made it seem really cool, their dynamic together.
Yeah.
Because someone, I'm trying to think, if he was with Damien Priest, say, Damien Priest would be the really cool, intense, badass babyface, and Matt Riddle would just be there, hey, yeah, get the tag, I get in there, do some cool stuff, and then I get back out, and kind of thing. And it was a really nice dynamic between them sometimes. But I'd say that now I'm not really so hot on the thing. They've made it some kind of sort of high stoner who goes around on scooters and talks constantly about scooters and wears his flip flops and doesn't know where his feet are and things like that. I don't know. I'm not so, and especially since the fact that they've started calling him Riddle and not Matt Riddle, which I think is for another reason entirely.
He's not been used too greatly recently. He lost the belt to Sheamus.
Yeah, he did lost his belt to Sheamus. Oh, by the way, here's a little advance. We mentioned something in a part 2 WrestleMania 37 review. We said that Sheamus referenced many times his match with Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
The kick heard around the world kind of thing. To the fact where I realised 3 days ago he was wearing that exact same gear.
Yeah.
I mentioned it. I mentioned that the gear looked like what he wore when he fought Daniel Bryan, but I realised that then it was the exact same gear. So I just think it's more on Sheamus, I suppose. That's more of a credit to Sheamus than Matt Riddle. But where would you put Matt Riddle?
I'd put him in decent, I think.
No, not high, not bottom decent.
Yeah, it's lower down.
Maybe after Braun, but before. I'd honestly settle for maybe before Jinder. But I'd say after Jinder, just because Matt Riddle is getting TV time.
Yeah. That's fair. We'll put him after Jinder.
Right. There we go. Now we have Slapjack, which is the act of Matt... Oh, sorry, I'm not going to say that because that's... Citation needed. No, you can look up the dictionary definition of slapjack in your own time, but it's not pretty, and I want to advise that you do that. Don't Google it. However, here we have Slapjack, a member of Retribution with Mace Windu and T-Barrow and Lunchbox and Stud Rock and
potentially
Wanky Panky and the Wonky Donkey,
Potentially with them, because I don't even know if when Mace and T-Bar came out to help Lashley, I don't think Slapjack was involved.
Slapjack wasn't even there.
In fact, when they turned on Ali, Slapjack had left. It was just Mace and T-Bar who chokeslammed Ali, so I don't even think he's part of that equation anymore.
I swear to you, he had like a championship match against Bobby Lashley on Raw.
He had something along those lines, I believe.
Once.
Weirdly, whenever it was like, oh, someone from Retribution is going to have a match against someone or a championship match, it was always Slapjack. And why would you pick like T-Bar, the massive guy?
Yeah, why would you pick this little guy to go and do it? But
saying that, I reckon he is the most over person, over than Ali, the most over person that was in Retribution. But I think just because of his name, it was a bit silly and a bit dumb.
Yes. And people took great fun in saying it and joking about it.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, we've mentioned Retribution, we've mentioned that. I reckon he's probably round about the same place that Mace is.
Slapjack. Yeah, put him. He's not even as high as Mace. Just put him. You know what? I could put him in Itchy and Lumpy and not figure a thing. I honestly think, yeah, sure. I'm sure he's good in the ring, and I'm sure the guy that plays Slapjack is a very nice fellow.
He is.
But the character himself is just wordless, voiceless. He always loses. I'm not feeling it at all. What do you think? I'm willing to go with you on this. I'm not going to pull my card.
I think he's around about the same place as Mace's.
Right, okay. But he's not as high as Mace, though. I don't think he doesn't look as intense as Mace. He looks like a guy who found a Jason Voorhees mask at a Halloween shop and decided to just whack it on and get in a wrestling ring one day.
Yep. And, well, to be fair, next person up is T-Bar, so you might as well quickly go.
Yes, formerly known as Dominic Dijakovic.
Yep.
I may have to pull my card on this one because...
Okay, I'm going to hazard a guess you're wanting to put him higher than Air.
Yes, I'd like to put him at least round about mid-decent. Maybe up to where Matt Riddle is, at least.
Okay.
I don't want him to go in Air, because I think T-Bar is the most successful member of Retribution, which is saying something. Apart from Ali, which is, if you don't count Mia Yim, is saying something.
Yeah. Okay.
I like Dominic Dijakovic from NXT as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. And T-Bar is kind of like the mouthpiece. He's really savage on Twitter as well. If you watch his tweet game is pretty mad. So, especially when he gets into arguments with Chris Jericho and other people from like other promotions, it's fun. Anyway, yeah, I quite like T-Bar.
Okay, well, I'll let you pull your card, play your trap card.
Right. Okay. Do you want me to sort of place him? I can place him.
You have all the options here.
Right. Put him. Oh, is he better than Riddle? Oh, I don't. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Put him above Riddle.
Okay.
Nice.
There you go.
Okay, I'm sort of. We can speak about. Do we have enough time to speak about Bray Wyatt? We could be here all day.
Yeah, we could. I mean, okay, right. So Bray Wyatt and the Fiend are separate. So we're only focusing.
Right. You know what? Let's
Wyatt.
place them first. Let's place Bray Wyatt and the Fiend first. Then we can talk about them.
Okay.
Right, Bray Wyatt now is obviously the leader of the Wyatt family, Sister Abigail and all that. Husky Harris, as he was known in NXT. He was one of the. I think he was a founding member of Nexus as well, I believe.
He wasn't.
Along with Wade Barrett and a few others, and Daniel Bryan even, I believe.
Yep.
So I think that he's been in the company for long enough. One of the few starting members of NXT, like the other guys, and yeah, I think he's really evolved. He's clearly a guy who cares about his characters. He's clearly a guy who cares about everything he's doing and actually making it work for the fans as well. He cares clearly a lot about his fans and about making good stories for them and making things work for them and working around sort of the shit booking he may be offered. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I really like Bray Wyatt. We'll just do little short things and then we'll place them.
Yeah. Where
do you want to put him before we talk a bit more?
He's definitely above decent.
Right. I'm happy to fit mid-sizzling
Yeah, I think
around the likes of John Morrison and Keith Lee. Maybe just behind John Morrison, but ahead of Keith Lee.
That's fine.
Of course, this is like the Mr. Rogers,
Yes.
Bob Ross style Bray Wyatt from Bray Wyatt's Funhouse.
Yes.
So, what do you think of all that character?
I quite enjoy it.
As opposed to like the swamp cult leader Bray Wyatt. And...
I like it because it's a nice opposite to what the Fiend is.
Yeah.
I like almost like child's TV host who isn't quite right.
Yeah.
Like you watch him and you're like something's not right here. I like that. I like the evil child host. I like his look. I like his get up.
Right. Well, compare it to the other gimmicks though. Compared to the gimmicks he's had over the years.
I think because he's doing it with the Fiend, it's fine. If it was just that and not the Fiend, then I think it'd be worse. But because the Fiend kind of fulfills the old Bray Wyatt, I'm fine with him doing the children's TV host because we have the Fiend who can do what old Bray Wyatt did. I did wish they did more with Bray Wyatt, as in like the old Bray Wyatt leader. But his stuff with Matt Hardy was good.
Yeah.
He won the belt and lost it to Orton, which should have been the other way around. But oh well.
Okay. Well, we've specified that Bray Wyatt's already made it into sizzling.
Yep.
But will the Fiend actually get higher than him?
You see, right, here's the thing. We're recording this after Mania.
Yes.
And the Fiend has just gone through a somewhat controversial booking decision at Mania.
Indeed.
And to be fair, has had several in the past via the hands of Seth Rollins, for example.
Oh yes. No one is going to forget that Hell in a Cell match.
And Goldberg.
or that Saudi Arabian match either.
I like The Fiend, and I loved The Fiend when he first came.
I love The Fiend. I think The Fiend is possibly one of the scariest, actually legitimately scariest characters in the past few years.
When they were doing the vignettes, and like The Fiend wasn't announced yet, and like every week it was Firefly Funhouse, and then like you had the first time he got announced where like Bray Wyatt turned into The Fiend. He said, "Let me in."
The glimpses of The Fiend, yeah.
Exactly. That was great. When he came out with Bursting Finn, with the lantern, cool. Then Seth happened.
Yeah. Well, people. Let's not forget the hype and the fact people were very, very, very over on The Fiend.
Well,
he was like, it was incredible.
It's the first time in a while a character in wrestling has been a character and not a person. Because it isn't Keith Lee, who's an actual person. He's Keith Lee.
Who's an athlete. The Fiend is like a supernatural creature, monster.
Yeah. It's almost like a throwback to like the 80s, 90s, where everyone was a character, not a person.
Yeah. And it's clear that Bray Wyatt's put so much work into this, even down to like, do you know about the Woodsman story?
Yeah.
Yeah, even down to the Woodsman story from years ago, from NXT. That was crazy, the fact that it lines up to today.
Mm.
That is what you call, I know this is a bit slightly memed, but that's what you call long-term storytelling, my friends.
Yeah.
So, right, let's find a place for The Fiend, shall we, before we...
I mean, I'd still say he's above Bray, maybe.
Let's put him in Rotacular. I'm happy for him to go...
Okay.
Maybe even ahead of R-Truth. Or maybe not. Maybe bottom Rotacular is more reflective of top sizzling, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then. I'm willing to let you take this.
Don't give me the decision.
No, I'm giving you the decision. Choose wisely.
Oh man, well, if I put him here, I fear he's gonna pop up one day and just claw.
As soon as you let go, he's got to stay there.
You know what? You can go back.
There you go. You've done it. Right.
Now he won't mandible claw me in my sleep.
No. Now he won't bust through this door and give me the mandible claw or whatever. Turn it into a Firefly Funhouse match. That'd be freaky.
What? I'm just gonna turn up an NWO attire. It was gonna be a Vince puppet.
Oh no! This is such good shit.
I love that. It's one of my favourite.
You knew that was coming. You knew that was coming.
It's not a Vince line, but it's one of my favourite like Vince lines. I know it's not him that's saying
Vince didn't even say. I swear to you, I thought Vince had said that, and then when I realised he didn't, I was like, "What? That sounds like such a Vince thing." It's a soft good shit.
I'm so glad they allowed him to have.
I love that they made the Vince puppet the devil, and they put him with like the vulture that talks, and there's like all the little puppets like Husky like the Husky the pig is reminiscent of Husky Harris.
Yeah.
And then we have the sort of doll that with what's her name is does it begin with an A? Is it Abigail?
No.
There's that little doll with the pale skin and the black hair. It looks like looks like how we described Sister Abigail to look like.
Yeah.
And then there's the vulture, who's my favourite. I think he's fun. But yeah, all the Firefly Funhouse things is just absolutely amazing. I think it's really, really good character work and really fun. It does harken back to the 90s where you get characters like The Undertaker, there's this undead fighting machine, and Kane, who's this guy born out of fire, the brother to The Undertaker kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love anything like that. So yeah, Bray Wyatt and The Fiend both get very good places on this tier list. Who's up next?
Tucker is up next.
Right. Well, this is unfortunately a casualty of Black Wednesday, the sequel. Tucker is no longer employed by WWE. Yeah. However, we will take what he has done into account. The last thing he did was a heel turn against Otis, and I think that's it.
That's essentially that is it.
Right. Well, we'll rock him off. Right. I like Tucker.
I like Tucker.
Heavy Machinery, another NXT guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah. He was in Heavy Machinery. Their debut was
Yeah. Not the best.
Nope.
I think they just walked on. I think they just walked onto stage one day, didn't they?
Alexa Bliss was doing a segment of Talking Bliss, and then Otis walks on randomly, and then like starts shouting at Bliss, and then essentially Tucker comes on and stops him, and then that's it.
Okay, right. And SmackDown debut, everybody, or whatever. Raw debut.
You've got Otis walking around like shaking his head, doing what he does.
He does, yeah. He goes, Yeah,
that's what he did.
I was doing it then.
And then that was their debut. I mean, to be fair, he had a great match in the tag team chamber. Did a lovely is it a senton, like a front flip off his pod.
Oh yes, yeah.
Very good. It's hard to tell though because he's only, I believe, only in NXT and WWE. I don't think he's worked anywhere else.
No, so we can't really judge anything else in his career apart from this.
He's done good stuff. His turn with Otis was bad, to say the least. He did nothing with it. It didn't go anywhere. So, I would love to put him high up in like decent, for example, but I just don't think he's done enough.
Really? Would you say? Well, Top Air isn't too bad for what he's done on main roster.
Yeah.
But we're really judging him more off his Heavy Machinery and NXT work, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right, I'll put him up there then. Into Top A he goes.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but there we go. Well, we're on final stretch.
Right, we're up to the final stretch. It's time for It's a New Day. Yes, it is, Corey. We have the two members of the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. What was that?
I was trying to do Francesca. I was trying to be a trombone.
Oh, right, okay. We have Abutios, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Do you want to sort of talk about them as one or what they've... Well, I think Kofi's probably the one who's had the most success out of the two of them. He did become WWE champion.
Kofi's done more. Saying that, I feel like they might end up getting in a similar place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kofi's done more. Debuted ages ago. Been in the company for God knows how long. Former WWE champion. The whole Kofi Mania thing.
Yeah.
Couple tag team championships, not with the New Day, but the New Day have got lots of tag team belts, and
they have. The New Day is probably one of the most successful, best.
Yep.
Since for a long time.
They win the belts a lot. I think they're the longest reigning tag team champions. beating out Demolition. I wonder why they did that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done all sorts. He's been around the block. He joined with New Day. They turned up. They did the whole, like, almost Healy speaker thing. And then they turned into the actual comedy New Day after that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Kofi's done great stuff. He's done a lot. He's up there. He's at least sizzling, possibly real-tacular.
Oh, I'm happy to put him in around sort of Miz Jeff Hardy territory, even ahead of the Fiend. Because I honestly think Kofi Kingston is is a WWE built star. Like, they really made it. Kofi Mania was an absolute sensation. So
I'm fine with it. Should we go middle?
Yeah. Yeah, middle, just after Miz, before Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Kofi Mania, everybody.
Final man, Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. I'm going to let you have this one. I'm going to sit back for a bit. What do you think of Xavier Woods?
Okay, so I think Woods, on his own, if you took him out of the New Day and he's on his own, is really good, really high up there as far as a wrestler goes. Good,
very good. Both the New Day, Kofi, especially Kofi and Xavier are absolutely show-stopping, top-notch talents.
Yeah, but like he's good in the mic, he's good in the ring, he's great at being an entertainer. The whole Francesca thing and the trombone, he's great at
very
that.
Energetic face, I like that.
Yes, so he's good at what he does. Now he's in a somewhat he's in a fortunate place because with the New Day. I feel like maybe he gets outshined a bit by the likes of Big E and Kofi a little bit, but he's still good at what he does. He's not as accomplished as Kofi is or as Big E is. I think all he's won is the tag team. I think that's it. He debuted as a dancer before joining the New Day with the great theme song of Someone's Gonna Call Your Mama.
Yeah.
Which people will know from, oh God, what's his name? I only know him as Tyrus. I can't remember his Funkadactyl name. Oh, what was it? I can't remember the Funkasaurus, man. I can't remember his name.
You've got it. I remember the Funkadactyls. Naomi was there.
Yeah, but what was who was the Funkasaurus? I can't remember his name.
The Funkasaurus.
Yes. I know
his name. I know his name was Tyrus.
Yeah, I only know him as Tyrus from TNA.
Oh right, okay. It was Brodus Clay, wasn't it?
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, because he had Woods' theme before Woods, I believe, or after Woods. I can't remember which way around it was.
Yeah.
But Woods he's been doing stuff for tag team. Again, he's good. He's entertaining. I always get excited. His stuff with the Usos as part of a New Day was fantastic.
His stuff on Up, Up, Down, Down is absolutely great. I love his host of that.
I was going to get into that. He does really shine in the stuff. Him and Breeze do fantastically. Fantastically well. Almost, do I prefer him to Kofi? I don't think I do.
Right, okay.
I always struggle with New Day members on which one's my favourite, because I don't know.
Well, it's very telling that when we did our SmackDown men's roster tier list, that Big E got to top sizzling, and now Kofi's all the way in real tacular.
Yeah, okay, so this is the thing. I think sizzling is the bottom he can go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, where do we put him? I think sizzling's maybe more fair, because he hasn't accomplished as much as Kofi has.
Right, okay.
I reckon
he's happy. I think he's happy to go second sizzling.
Yeah, I think he's
AJ. If we're keeping AJ as the top sizzling...
Yeah.
Keeping AJ Styles as top sizzler and Xavier Woods goes to a nice second.
I think that's fair.
Austin Creed, pop him up there.
And there we
are. And there we are. We have your full part one, at least, of the Raw men's roster. So hopefully, if your favourite was up there, we've given him a good rank. Sorry if you're a fan of Retribution or Tozawa or Tucker, but. There you go. now let's just stop plugging everything. You can subscribe to us,
Yeah.
you can like us, follow us on Instagram, The Real Show FM, follow us on Twitter at The Real Show FM. We're there now as well.
Yeah, we've got
We're
all
bloody
sorts.
everywhere, aren't we, Corey?
You can't get rid of us.
No, you can't get rid of us, so stop trying, all right? So
Embrace it. Join the real show.
join The Real Show. Obey Real Show. It's like they live. So this was us, and this was our part 1 of the Raw men's roster. Part 2 we should be recording pretty soon, so that should be getting out soon as well. And then sometime in the week we'll do the women, and they'll get out as well. And then we'll have done. What do you want to do NXT? What do you feel about that?
We might do.
Nice. Okay, looking forward to it. All right, thank you for being with me, Corey.
It's been a pleasure.
Good. You're very welcome. So, and thank you all for watching / listening. Goodbye.
Bye.